Alright, ladies, I'm going to show you how to get my silage corn that I use on most of my maps into a map that you would like. So, we're sitting here. I got this unzipped currently. When you download it, you'll need to unzip it. You'll have all your effects, fruit types, growth type, or growth XML, which all I left in here was literally just the silage corn stuff for you. And all you're going to have to do is copy it out and put it in your map accordingly. So let's go with my bee farm. I don't have it in here yet. And with that being said, you need to first go into your map, figure out where everything's at. What I mean by everything is your XMLs. And right now, we do not have a foliage file or our fruit types or fill types or anything like that. So you're going to want to check your map XML for that. And here you'll see the growth types and everything like that. So if you do not have these files, you are going to go to your data folder with FarmSim and get these files. I usually run, well, you don't have to because they're the joint ones. So we're going to grab the fill types, fruit types, growth for this current one. We do not need to worry about the density map height types because we're not dumping silage corn on ground. We're converting silage corn straight to chaff, which is already in game. And we do not need to worry about that part of it. So let me get this right. There it is. So we're just going to copy those, bring them right into our map where we got them or want them, however you want. This one was set up as a starter map, so I renamed it. And now we got a different spot for the XML. So now we're going to run over here and we need to make sure that we got it correctly. And usually you're able to run off of something else that was up here previously. So all I'm going to be doing is copying XML right down to my growth. Always takes me a little bit to see where everything's at in here like normal. And like I said, where are all my other stuff? Okay, he got rid of them, which means we're going to have to add them in. Easy way to do that is to come back into our FarmSim files, and we're just going to run right to the map XML. The only difference between map US and those other ones are this part right here, map US. So we are looking for, we got growth, we are looking for our fill types and fruit types. Which are right there grayed out. Did I miss that on the other one? I did not. Like I said, I usually takes a bit to find everything. So we're going to come in, grab this line for fruit types, or fill types, excuse me. We're going to keep an eye on where they have it. Doesn't really matter, but I'm going to make sure we got it there. Then we're going to come back and grab fruit types and paste that there. Now I'm going to hit Control Shift K. Control Shift K. That will bring it back so it's normal like that and not grayed out. And then we are switching this to the XML part of it. And it is whatever your map file path is. A lot of them are maps, map US, and then whatever file you're going with. But all that's a little different. And with this, I am giving you guys the effects for CCM also for my earlage headers. So we are going to run this copy both of these. Yeah. Wait, I need to make a new folder. Excuse me. So we got the XMLs in there. I need to make, yep, right here. So we're going to go new folder and name it foliage, which I think for this current map that I'm working on, I'm going to have to change a few things in here, which I can show you guys also. Then we're going to copy our maze 2 out and put it in, excuse me, put it in foliage folder. With that being said, here's everything we need for the silage corn. And you do not have to change anything with that. It will be just like you guys see on most of my maps. Then I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to copy my effects out. And I say copy because you want to be able to put this in any map you want. So you're going to want to save it. Now that you have the effects in there, you open up the effects to motion path effects. And this is what says it's going to the cutter effect, cutter fruit effects, and cutter threshing. You need that in order to see the corn going into your corn head or the earlage head as we have it. So you come back in to your map XML, and right here is where we have the effects. So we are going to take that out, double check our path, which we have effects, and then motion path effects. Now the big thing is we should look into effects, motion path effects, and I need to get rid of my maps and map US off of this now. So that changed a little bit. There we go, I got effects. And then we're going to come back in and open our open our i3D. I use Notepad++. You can find this on Google. I like this the best. It takes a little bit to open it up. Once you have it opened up, then we are going to open my i3d.txt with Notepad++. And as you see, these are the lines for the i3D through a text editor like Notepad++. And this is what you're going to grab for your first line. Copy it over, and we're going to put it right below files. And as you can see, the numbers are huge. I do not want to make this any number that's even in here possible. So what I do is add 3 zeros to it. Now, once we have this in here, we're going to want to double check our foliage path to that maze XML that's in there. So I got foliage, maze2, maze.xml. And it runs off of where the i3D is at. So say the i3D is one file deeper and you need to go back, you'll have to add that in there. So make sure you put your foliage folder in the same folder that your i3D is in. So if it's in maps, map US, you want to make sure your foliage folder is maps, map US. And I will show you guys that here real quick. Come to Mossy Glen like I have it. This is set up like most maps are. So you hit maps, map US, and you want foliage, and there's my map i3D. So now that we have that explained, we are going to come down to here. I want to say, usually I go detail layer. You type in detail in your search bar, and oh, what am I doing? You type in maze. Once you come down here, it's going to be terrain detail height, excuse me. And this is what we're looking for. This right here is where we need to put our other part of silage corn, right here. And do not add it in the middle. Add it to the bottom. It can mess everything up on a map and change your location of weeds, fruit, everything. It'll mess it all up. So, as you see, foliage type name, silage corn, foliage XML ID. This number needs to match this number that we just put in at the top. Once you have that, you can go ahead and hit save. Now then we're going to open up our map I3D and GE. This is always highly recommended. And once you have it open, you're going to check the console on the bottom for the log and make sure you have no errors. If you have an error, do not save because it will erase that error and you won't be able to find it or fix it. So once GE gets loaded here. Alright, so now that we have GE loaded, this is your console. And window, console, if you do not have it, it might be in a different location than mine. But this is what I usually do, just to double check. And right there is our issue. So now we have an error trying to open up the Maze XML. I see what I did wrong. I completely spoiled the spelling on foliage. So this is huge. As you can see, I don't have it spelled right there. So I'm going to copy it off of here. And my bad. And we are going to rename this correctly. My bad. Little misspelling. It happens quite a bit when you create a new folder. And that's going to be huge. So therefore, we close out of it. And we're going to start the GE back up again. And double check that we fixed that error. Alright, now that GE opened up again, we are going to check through right here. We have it in and it is good to go. So we are going to hit save. Let it do its thing down here. You'll see exporting. And then when it's done and saved, another little command will pop up in the console and it'll say ready down here again. Bingo. You guys can close out of that however you want. So now that we are back here, I'm going to go back to my XMLs. We are going to start with the fill types, fill types. We are going to first save this one. Fill types. All right. So now with our fill types, we are also going to go back into my files, look at fill types. And here we have the fill types for silage corn. Now, if you guys just copy this one over, make sure you do not comment out the actual fill types. You can set it up to however you want it to look. I usually go something like that, so I got a nice space in between it. And I see I need to get the HUD in here, so let me grab that from Mossy Glen real quick. Not that one. That ain't the right one either. Alright, I found my HUD for the silage corn that Lazy E made up. So we are going to bring this one back over, put into foliage, maize 2, and I will change the path for you guys in this so you don't have to, but I'm going to show you how to do it in case you have an issue. So I'm going to leave HUD there. Now we're going to run up here and I'm going to go foliage, maize 2. We're going to throw that in there. I like my XML to be a little neat like that, so we're going to keep it that way. Then we need to check what file it was, and it would be a DDS. I'm going to leave it as .png because the game likes it that way. And there we have our fill type of silage corn. Now, the other thing you guys don't need to worry about is down here on the bottom. We do not need to add silage corn to anything in this XML. And I'll show you guys why here in a second. So I'm going to close out of that fill types. We're going to come back to our map that we are adding it in. Go to our fruit types XML. Once we have our fruit types XML opened up, we're going to open up the one I sent you guys. And here is my entire fruit types XML. And the reason I gave you guys this is the destruction of wheat, barley. I want to say I got canola and oat in here, so you have that also. And then I need to double check that I got everything correct. Corn gets destroyed also, so if you're using AW's textures on the corn, that will still be the same. And the big part I left in here is my converters down here. With this, the converter side of it, let me get rid of rye for you, but with the converter side of it, you guys can say silage corn to chop maize is for maize plus. This is only for maize plus. Now, if you guys are not playing with maize plus, you just take the chaff and you paste it in there just like so. And then it converts silage corn to chaff, which is your silage. I'm going to leave it alone. I play with maize plus, so we're going to leave her just like that. Now, the only two places you need silage corn whatsoever is maize cutter and planter. Those are the only two places we're at because silage corn is, you're not able to harvest it with a maize header unless you would put it up here yourself, which I don't want to do. It's only harvested with a forage harvester, which automatically converts silage corn to chopped maize. Now, if you'd put it up here for a maize header, you're definitely going to have to rewrite everything on all the corn headers in order to convert silage corn to maize. So that's why I didn't do that, because then you have to add silage corn in on all the fill types, all the sell points and everything. This is the easy way to leave it alone. And as you can see, I got maize to CCM raw down here. So that works. And I think I'll add the fill types of CCM into the file I'm going to send you guys, just because then you can have that on any map too, but you got to go down the lines of the fill types and adding it into a bunch of other things. Even though you guys will have it, that might be another video actually. I might leave that for another video. So right now, I'm going to take that one off, and you guys could add it in if you wanted to. So we are going to click Control A. We are going to copy everything. We're going to click Control A on our new XML for our map that we're going to do, and Control V. So this is the one I'm sending you guys. I'll save that. This is the one I'm having for my map. which will have earlage. So Control Shift K undoes that. Make sure you guys save. That will be a big issue a lot of times. Then we're going to go under the Growth XML. Now in the Growth XML you have a bunch of things, all your crops and the periods and whatnot that it can be planted and harvested. Now as you see here, maize already has theirs and it's pretty close to what I got for silage corn. But what we're going to do is look at our my growth XML that I'm sending you guys, and it is literally just silage corn in here. And the reason I left it like that, in case you have different crops or anything like that. So that's a big thing to say too. If you have different crops already in the map, you're just going to want to go through my map fruit types and grab just the silage corn stuff and make sure you place it in just the silage corn. But I left it here in case you guys wanted everything. The other thing you could do is if you want the destruction of wheat, oat, barley, and all that, you can just take out of your current map and whatever new crops you have in there, throw it into my fruit types. It would work too. So back to the growth XML. With this part of the growth XML, I have taken silage corn back a little bit. If you wanted to, you're going to cut, return there. We're going to paste this in, but then you also have to have take the range 6 down. I didn't do that. I want to say it brings it down to the stumper right here. It will tell you up here 10 is early winter to midwinter. You'll be able to see it in your growth calendar for sure in game. But I'm going to leave mine alone. This is where I want it for my map that I'm working on. And did I miss anything? I don't think so. Maze 2. Yeah, I need to add that HUD in here for you guys. That's what I was missing. If you guys are playing on a map that is similar to Mossy Glen, even though it's already going to have it for you, and you go into maps and you already have a foliage folder like this, you're going to want to put all your stuff in here for the foliage. That's why I have Maze 2 already. And I guess you need that stuff for the destruction. Let's go like this. I'm kind of flying on it by as I record, so I'll edit the video down a little bit and shorten her up. Now, I completely forgot with the destruction of oat and all that and the corn and whatnot. That comes through the XML. So right down here you have the tire tracks. You guys do not have to use it if you don't want to, but it's all here for you. Soybeans, I'm pretty sure, are on 30-inch rows now with this in here. And one final thing I'm going to show you guys is how to get that all in here, because my scatterbrain, the way it works, I forgot. So now we're going to come into here and go maze one more time. And we are going to take just the data / off. Then we're going to look for oat, do the same thing, Soybeans are right there if you want to use the ones I'm sending you guys. Wheat, same thing. They're usually all right next to each other, so I'm not sure why I don't see. Oh, there's barley and canola. And where is my maize 2 now? I wanted to show you guys once you do it right here. So it does move it around and it will change the number accordingly, but we know it works. And you guys can test in game and let me know if you have any errors. I can help you out. Best thing to do to get a hold of me, comment on this video or go to my Facebook page that is linked in the description and send me a message. I would like to see the council and GE and uh, also your in-game council or log of just the errors with the crop issues. But there you guys have it. I'm going to go in and resave my Giants editor because I changed the file paths again for the XMLs. And like I said, any questions, hit me up. Thank you.